2025 statistics states that even today, approximately 60% of our total energy needs and 79% of our power demand are met through coal. While efforts to strengthen renewable energy sources, coal will continue to remain central to our energy security. For the steel sector to grow, the coal sector must grow alongside it, emphasizing on what Honorable Prime Minister stated at this India 25 Steel Conference, coking coal being a key input for steel making, strengthening domestic coal production, both in quantity and quality, is essential to reduce imports and support India's steel ambitions. Coking coal constitutes among 42% of steel production costs. Its availability and price directly impact the competitiveness of our steel industry. In 2031, with an increase in steel production to support infra, manufacturing and constructions, the demand will increase massively. However, ash content in Indian coking coal has made it difficult to use for steel making. As a result, we currently import coking coal needs. This imports makes our steel industry vulnerable to international price, to supply chain disruptions. To address this challenge, Government of India launched Mission Cooking Coal to reduce cooking coal imports dependency, target 140 million tons of domestic cooking coal, increasing domestic cooking coal blending from current 10% to 30% in steel making in 2030. Under the mission, we are working on identifying and opening new exploration areas, boosting production from existing mines, increasing domestic coal washing capacity to improve quality, auctioning new cooking coal blocks specifically to the private sector to leverage their efficiency and investment, adoption of strong charging technology. Stamp charging technology must also be promoted to enable use of high ash domestic coal without compromising coke quality and enhance blending percentage. Under the mission, we have also set a target of significantly expanding our washing and beneficiation capacity by 2030. We aim to develop washing capacity of 58 million ton and supply 23 million ton of washed cooking coal by 2030. However, for the success of this mission, we need active participation of private sector. Private sector, especially I am requesting, setting up new washeries, beneficiation plants and developing new technology will further strengthen India's efforts. Pulverized coal injection trials using domestic coal are also being undertaken. These trials have shown potential for import substitution. With a greater technology and innovation, we can further improve our capacity for beneficiation. We also industry partners to come forward and participate in action of cooking coal blocks. We have already allocated cooking coal blocks and are witnessing strong industry participation. Friends, India has a rich iron ore overseas with over 35 billion metric tons making us the largest globally. To meet growing steel demand, we are ensuring that there is a steady supply. In financial year 24-25, we produced 263 million tons of iron ore with about 50 million tons exported. We currently have 179 working iron ore mines and 126 blocks have been auctioned so far and 38 of them already operationalized. We are also working closely with state governments to bring more blocks into auction and production and boost country's need. However, more than 66% of total iron ore in India is the medium and low grade category that needs to be processed before utilization. We are also undertaking policy interventions to encourage the private sector. We have proposed a strategic revision of royalty rates for limestone and low grade iron ore. This will encourage more private sector involvement in mining. I call upon the industry to invest in beneficiation plants to augment the iron ore production in the country. As a highly emphasized by Honorable Prime Minister, that timely and proper utilization of greenfield mines must be priority. As he rightly said that timely use of greenfield mines is important, else it will waste of natural resources and loss for the country and industry. I therefore urge the mining community to focus on timely operationalization of iron ore mines. Our ministry is making this a priority and are holding regular review meetings with state governments and stakeholders. We are also working to close coordination with the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to facilitate early grant of clearances and simplify the norms for handling of applications for grant of environment clearance and forest clearance to remove bottlenecks. In the first 6 months, a number of guidelines have been issued by Ministry of Environment in this regard. The proposed reforms will be finalized shortly. The Coal and Mining Ministry is constantly evolving to adapt to sustainable goals and meeting the climate change commitments while reducing dependency on imports. Towards this, we are undertaking constant technological development, innovations and adopting whole of government approach. The coal gasification program, which will encourage investment in the sector and enable to use of high ash and non-cooking domestic coal to produce synthesis gas. As I pointed out, this Honorable Prime Minister, Sungas is a cleaner option to steel making and can be used in direct reduced iron based steel making. The Ministry of Coal has set a target to achieve 100 million tons of coal gasification by 2030 under the National Coal Gasification Mission. The industry must come forward and invest in gasification technology, not only as a cleaner alternative, but also as a strategic substitute for imported cooking coal. This shift can unlock new value chains, reduce emissions, and strengthen India's push for green energy, growth and self-reliance. Friends, to further strengthen our capacity in advanced alloys and green technology, I also request the mining community to focus on recovery of critical minerals from dumps and tailings. Testing and recovery of these existing dumps should be taken up as a national priority. The journey towards securing sustainable and robust raw material strategy for India's steel sector is a collective effort that demands vision, innovation, and unwavering commitment. Under the visionary leadership of the Prime Minister, Government of India has set a ambitious roadmap for steel sector. The National Steel Policy envisions achieving 300 million tons of production capacity by 2030-31 and a long-term goal of 500 million tons by 2047. The coal and mining sector is taking every effort to ensure that these targets should be achieved. We are collaborating with the steel sector to address all the challenges and encouraging innovation and technological development on every step. I am confident that the collective efforts of the Government of India and state governments and industry, India will able to meet its requirement of iron ore for steel production domestically and help to achieve the goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Friends, we are the fifth largest geological coal reserves globally. India is the second largest coal producer in the world. India is the second largest coal consumer in the world. We have second largest coal mine, Gewra, with a capacity of 70 million tons. Friends, as we move ahead, it's essential that we all work together to address the challenges and seize the opportunities. I request all the stakeholders present here today to engage in these critical discussions and contribute to shaping policies and strategies that will ensure a secure, sustainable and competitive raw materials supply chain for our steel sector. On behalf of the Ministry of Mines and Ministry of Coal, on behalf of Government of India, I assure all the stakeholders we will time to time we will encourage all the stakeholders in this sector. I once again thank the Honorable Minister of Steel and Ministry of all higher officials for this event. Thank you for one and all. Once again, Jai Hind.
Thank you for addressing this August gathering on this significant occasion. And now, as a token of appreciation and gratitude, Shri